We like to think that we live in historic times. And with President Obama in the White House, that is difficult to argue. By the way, you know that he visited North on the campaign trail in 2008. Historic times, indeed, at least in the scope of what he inherited upon his inauguration. 2 wars, are they over yet? A great recession, a bitter fight over health care that threatens to compromise any sense of civility we used to so proudly value in America. Speaking of historic times, we are bearing witness, along with the rest of the world, to flames of freedom in the Middle East as Tunisia and Egypt overthrow long-tenured dictatorships as their people demand freedom now. It may well be the biggest story of my lifetime, and I wonder how all of this will play out between my letter and your reading of it. One thing I know for certain, the greatest challenge facing our kids as they venture into the next 25 years will be how to deal with the growing divide between the haves and the have-nots of the world. Recognizing sometimes the world is as close as Detroit, where schools just a couple years ago struggled not only to have enough textbooks, but also to even have such basic things as toilet paper. How is that possible? As I review what I've already written, it concerns me that the tone of my letter portrays a rather somber picture. So I find it necessary to assure you that there is also much that brings hope, and it is largely found in your alums from the class of 2011. They are an incredible group. I would argue that there has never been, at least up until now, a senior class whose leadership and decency was more critical to North Farmington than the class of 2011. We entered this school year with the daunting reality due to a state budget crisis of having a 70-person turnover on our staff at North, 43 out, 27 in. Our seniors, with the support of one organization or another, went out of their way to make sure everyone in the building knew they were appreciated and valued. They created welcome goodie bags for new employees, gifted every employee at holiday time with a beautiful scarf, and gave everyone a commemorative 50th anniversary thermal mug. Of course, the gifts were really cool. Do you still use that expression? They were really neat, really awesome, really appreciated, not only for the practical application, but also for the message they sent about belonging. This class not only reached out to our school, but also to the bigger world. They were instrumental in the partnership with Danbury High School in Connecticut to raise $100,000 to build a school in Sudan. This partnership is even mentioned at the end of Greg Mortenson's remarkable book, Stones into Schools. Please tell me you still have books, and that you can still read a newspaper with your morning cup of coffee. Anyway, the funds were funneled through the Save the Children Foundation, and it is hoped the ground will be broken on Promise School in this calendar year. Perhaps the rigors of 2036, while celebrating their 75th year, can reach out to Promise School as they celebrate their 25th. This class, in what has become a rich tradition of caring, has also raised lots of money and dedicated thousands of hours of service to humanitarian causes near and far. Among them, Toys for Tots, Food for the Needy, earthquake relief. This class gave support for a medical team in Mali, West Africa, for Think Pink, Fight Like a Girl, fundraising to support breast cancer research. And I could go on and on, but I better wrap this up, lest you think I'm trying to write the next great American novel for your Kindle, which I doubt still exists. I have seldom been one to believe that the good old days were really all that good. With that said, the past 18,250 days, more or less, making up the first 50 years of North Farmington, have been pretty darn good overall. We have a school that values the imperatives of family, that values the virtues of community, that values patriotism. Have you enjoyed the outdoor classroom with the seared and twisted piece of I-beam from the World Trade Center? That's a gift from the Raiders of 2011 to you, indeed to all future Raiders. We value being part of something bigger than ourselves, and we value the constellation of behaviors that express our mutual regard for one another: honesty, fairness, humility, kindness, and compassion. In closing, I am confident that our kids from the class of 2011, while building a more just, healthy, and self-fulfilling life for themselves and their children, will do so by advocating and contributing to the same destiny for all the children on the planet. Because that's who we are at North. That's what we value. So on behalf of the Raiders of 2011, I sign off. When you meet us, we hope you like us. We really want to like you. In fact, we specifically picked you to receive this time capsule at the 75th anniversary, so that more of us might be around than is even remotely possible at the 100th anniversary. Folks like me are likely to be on a walk. Nevertheless, invite us back. We'd love to share our memories, perhaps even share a few lies about how good we were during this sports season or that spring musical. But please know, those stories will always be shared with great love for the people in place that is North Farmington High School. And then I signed it, and I offered a postscript that would make a neat Twitter. I only knew how to Twitter. P.S. Students of 2036, always remember, it's a great day to be a Raider. Class of 2011, I want to thank you for helping me author this letter, by inspiring me with your passion and compassion, your brilliance and your perseverance. I've loved every graduating class, and it's been my privilege to serve. But I can think of no better class than the class of 2011, with whom I too say goodbye.